And so you played I didn't know much about the rugby. How was your experience doing that?
It was great. You know, I think rugby is a not very well known and certainly understood sport. I love the camaraderie. I love the skill that's required, the massive amount of communication to be successful. So like all the pieces of rugby, now that I think about it, I try to bring into the way that I operate nowadays.
Awesome. And from there, how did you get started into bodybuilding? We've never talked about this at all. So how did you get
Oh
started?
yeah,
How was your time doing that?
bodybuilding. Oh wow, yeah. So in college, I listed for rugby and for football, of course. But then after, as I was kind of like not training as much for those specific sports, I started to like really enjoy training itself just for the joy of it. And people would always say, "Oh, you should do a bodybuilding show," and it never really occurred to me. And I kind of like would train and then eat nothing but chicken breast and broccoli during the week, and I'd track my weight and get to a certain point. This is all in college. I'd get to a certain point, and then there's supposed to be like anywhere from like a 2 to 5 or 6 week kind of like cutting phase for getting ready for a bodybuilding show. And I didn't know what to do, and I also wasn't in the mental space to kind of like go out and research it. So I never really like got to that point, until I went to after college. I started working at Equinox, and then you're familiar with Brent.
Yeah.
He was like, "Chris, you should do bodybuilding show," and I'm like, "Brent, like that sounds great, but like I just don't know what to do in those last. First off, I'd never posed before, and secondly, I don't know what to do in those last few weeks." He was like, "Oh, I've done a show before. I'll show you." So he became my mentor from a bodybuilding perspective, and we did, it's probably a 4 or 5 month like training to get to my first show. Um, and he gave me the confidence to really just push forward and continue, even though I wasn't sure exactly what things were going to look like on the other side. Just like, it's going to be okay. It feels weird. Maybe you're feeling a little tired, but it's okay. Like there's a reason for this. So that coaching was really useful. And then I did my first show, won my first pro card there. And to be clear, this was a
Oh, Chris, you're breaking up.
big, meaty, beefy guys. It was more people my size.
Wait, you kind of
Um,
broke up. So you said to be clear, and then what did you say from there?
Sorry, I was saying, to be clear, like these were natural bodybuilding shows, so I wasn't going up against Jay Cutler or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was everyone looked like a normal person with their
Yeah.
clothes on, and just it was all about getting leaning out to the right amount, and then also having enough muscle mass, and then knowing how to pose, which was much more challenging than I thought it would be.
Interesting.
Um, so yeah, and then I started doing more shows, and I did bodybuilding for, I want to say, probably like start to finish about 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So